attention this morning that there may be a potential that we have one of our jurors who maybe has had some inappropriate contact with a family member or somebody outside of the jury about this case. And so I'll ask you, Mr. Isaacs, at this time, do you want to present any evidence on that issue? Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Mr. Davis would like to pursue the issue.
Okay, if you please present your evidence on that matter.
We call Ms. Katina Davis.
Ms. Davis, you come up and just want to stand next to me.
What's your
Just right over here, man. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony I'm about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Welcome back, Ms. Davis. Just have a seat right there.
May we approach? All right, Ms. Davis, state your name for the court.
My name is Katina Davis.
And Ms. Davis, have you been here during the course of this trial?
I have.
And what is your relationship, if any, with Deondre Davis?
Deondre is my nephew.
And during the course of this trial, did you notice something that you brought to Ms. Mathis's attention?
I did.
And would you tell Judge Sword what you observed?
Well, when the jury was coming in, I'll be looking, I don't know, I'm nosy. And I'll be looking and I'll caught the black woman she turned her head and her mouth was moving towards the family, towards that direction. I don't know who she was talking to. I don't know what she said, but it's on camera. I mean, you can look on it.
And you observed this, was this yesterday?
Yesterday, yes.
And do you recall the approximate time that you observed that
Yes.
action?
It was the first time they came into the box. The morning.
And where are you sitting, or were you sitting in the gallery when you made your observation?
Right there where I was sitting yesterday.
Okay, well, right there, you're going to have to
Okay,
make it a record.
beside my sister, right there.
On the front,
Yes, on the front.
the front pew, as we say in church, right there, kind of behind counsel, correct?
Yes.
And was your view of the juror direct, or was it
Clear.
obstructed?
No, it was clear. I could see clear.
And Ms. Davis, are you testifying truthfully about your observations here this morning in this
God
courtroom?
is my witness. And cameras can see it, I'm sure.
Nothing
Go
further.
back and look.
Ms. Robin, any questions?
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning.
Did you hear the juror say anything?
I heard her mouth, I seen her mouth moving,
So you
like
didn't,
she was speaking.
so you didn't hear her say anything?
I just seen her mouth moving. She was mad that she was talking.
But my question to you is, did you hear her say?
I just seen her mouth moving as she was talking. I mean, she could have been crazy and just But other than that, I seen her talking to someone.
Okay, so just to be clear, you didn't hear her say anything?
I mean, I seen her talking to someone.
You saw her mouth?
That's clear. I seen her talking to someone.
And do you know who she's
No,
talking
I
to?
didn't. I seen her face was this way, like this, speaking. Her head was turned that way, speaking to someone.
So you
I don't know who.
You don't know who
No.
she was mouthing?
Yes, she was.
Mouthing something to somebody, but you
Yes.
don't know who. And you
Eye
don't,
contact and everything to someone. I don't know who.
did you see who she was looking? You said eye contact. How do you know she was maintaining?
Because I seen her eyes, her whole face was turned that way. Her whole face and was turned that way, talking, mouthing something to someone.
Eye contact to somebody mouthing something.
Yes, yeah, she was. Sorry.
Don't know if it was to the wall.
It was to somebody, she was mouthing to someone. No, it wasn't to the wall. It wasn't to the wall. You can look on camera and see it. I know you, no, I don't know who.
Yes, ma'am.
I do not.
Anything else, Mr. Isaacs?
No, sir.
Ms. Robinette? Thank you, Ms. Davis.
Thank you.
Stay back there. All right, Mr. Isaacs, do you want to present any other proof on that?
No, as we discussed earlier, I think the law is clear that when you have an issue of, and I mean this in the legal umbrella, juror misconduct, interaction or whatever, that the burden shifts to the state to affirmatively address that issue once it's raised. So I think that we have met our burden of raising the issue, and so if the state does not wish to rebut that issue, then we would ask for the juror to be removed, but I think the burden would now be on the state.
Well, are you wanting to bring in the juror and question her?
I'm just saying for the record, it's our position that the state has the burden, and that is our proof, which is uncontroverted, and that is what we would like to present.
All right. Ms. Robinette, do you want to hear it? All right, and General, what do you say?
I don't know that there has been any proof submitted to Your Honor that the juror has engaged in any juror misconduct at all. In order to keep the record clean, if we want to bring the juror in and question the juror as to whether or not she was mouthing something to somebody, that's fine with the state, but I don't believe that there's any proof that this juror has done anything wrong.
Yeah, I think at this point, without Ms. Davis being able to articulate what was being said, or even if words were being said and who they were being said to, I don't think that that is proof of juror misconduct. Now, I will give Mr. Davis's counsel an opportunity to question the juror about that, Ms. Abston, but at this point, I don't find that there has been any showing of misconduct on part of the juror. Do you want me to bring her in here and let you question her, or?
Your Honor, for the record, we would rely on State versus West, and that places the burden directly on the state. I do not feel it, I do not want to question this juror,
That's all.
because I think it would create an inference that we are attacking her in some way.
Well, you are, aren't you?
Well, that's lawyers,
Oh, wait a second. Now listen, I have had it with comments from the peanut gallery on this side of the courtroom. Now, I've told y'all before, if there's comments being made from the folks in the seats out there while this case is proceeding and court's in session, I will excuse you and you will not be able to sit in here. I don't want to hear another word from you, Ms. Davis, unless you're called to testify, or whoever that was. Ms. Davis, you've been very polite with me throughout this trial, but I thought it was you. Whoever said that, I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. So, Mr. Isis, you've told me you don't wish to further question Ms. Abston. Is that correct?
yes, sir.
Yes, you do want to question.
I do not wish to question Ms. Abston.
Very well.
Thank you for letting us raise the issue.
The court finds that there's been no showing of misconduct